Hello and welcome in to another week's episode of Allen Athletics here on Watch Fox 57. I'm Kay Crenshaw. So happy to have you along on this week's episode as hoop season is in full swing and conference play has arrived for both Allen men's and women's basketball teams. And we'll talk with both head coaches, both for the women's side. Olivia Gaines will join us to recap her team's recent matchups against LeMoyne-Owen and Lane College and how they're preparing for the closeout of the fall semester coming up in just a few short weeks. And also head men's basketball coach Sean Walker will look back at those same two opponents, but on the men's side of things, and how his team is trying to regroup and look ahead to their upcoming opponent, which is on December the 11th at Johnson C. Smith University in Charlotte, North Carolina. Coach Walker's going to preview that game and take his team big picture of what they have to do to get better over these final few days of the 2024 calendar year before we roll in to 2025. All that and more coming up here on Allen Athletics.
Right here, there's a better way to travel, where we're proud to be local, but we're more than just your local airport. Here, you can go from garage to gate in minutes, instead of traveling to travel.
Who wants to drive an hour up 77 anyway?
With quick find parking and multi-airline kiosks, we're designed to save you time. So for your next trip, check CAE first. The Columbia Metropolitan Airport. Fly local, fly with neighbors, fly with ease.
At Founders Federal Credit Union, we know success is a team effort. We're always cheering for you, side by side, so you can dream big and achieve your goals. Offering products and services that put you in the lead, whether that's helping you buy a car, build your savings, or supporting your community. We're here with the financial support you need. That's teamwork. Score big with Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax with Founders.
I think my images truly portray dynamic women, like being bold, being fearless. Growing up, I did not see what I wanted to be. There was just a lack of Black women, business owners, entrepreneurs, creatives. That's how I just started taking pictures. And from there, I figured out that I wanted to be a photographer for women of color. It takes a village to be a Black woman, to live and survive as a Black woman. It takes support. I found my niche and I'm sticking to it.
Each year, the South Carolina Education Lottery raises millions of dollars for scholarships and grants that help students prepare for their dream career, just like Kristen.
We're back here on Allen Athletics and pleased to be joined alongside Allen head women's basketball coach Olivia Gaines. Coach, as always, we appreciate your time and what is a busy schedule this time around. Obviously, the holiday season in full swing, but conference play has also arrived. For your team, as you work through these conference games, obviously they mean a lot. They determine your seed in the conference tournament and your chances at the postseason. So is there a change in your message to your group about maybe the bigger weight that these results carry than your non-conference games?
I would say my message isn't not anything different. These games are really, really important. As you just said, conference play is a big thing. Getting to the conference tournament will be a big thing too. It's just about, of course, just locking in and giving teams everything that we have. We fell apart a little bit at Lane, and I've seen some things that we can get better on. So that's what me and my coaches are working on right now, just figuring out how we can get better and just be a little bit more consistent.
Well, let's recap that recent road trip your team took up to the Volunteer State. You paid visits to, like you said, Lane College and also LeMoyne-Owen. Let's start with LeMoyne-Owen first. First off, one of my favorite mascots, the Lady Magicians, I think is one of the more unique ones in the world. Obviously, the Yellow Jackets take the top spot there, but you go in there and you get a win from the Magicians. You had the best magic trick of the weekend there, a 79-65 win, and it was one where your team really used a strong second half. Once again, it seems to be a reoccurring theme for your group. What were your takeaways?
We did some really good things. We shared the ball like we were supposed to. We looked more like a team. It wasn't more so ISO basketball. And everybody did their part. Bench production came in and gave us some quality minutes. So I was really, really proud of the performance that we did. So, yeah.
You kick off conference play with the win, then you faced a quick turnaround 48 hours later, and you played a really good Lane team that were in the conference tournament last year, and they've had a coaching staff that's been there for a number of years now. When you take a look at the Dragon squad, they defeated you 79-70, but it was a close game throughout.
Yeah, the turnovers. We turned the ball over 26 times, which, of course, is not something that we want to do. We didn't push the ball in transition as much as we would like. I think they also won the rebounding battle, so boxing out, getting on the floor for the 50-50 balls. A lot of stuff that, we practice on, it didn't translate to that game. So, but like I say, once you lose a basketball game, sometimes it wakes you up. So hopefully my kids are woke up now and then, ready to get back after it.
You mentioned practice there, and I'm curious as to what goes into your plan when you go into a game weekend where you're playing on Saturday and you're playing on Monday. Two different opponents. Sometimes they can be completely contrasting styles. How do you prepare for maybe that second team in practice, knowing that you're only going to have one day between the games?
Yeah, we kind of during the practice time that we do get, we kind of work on both. Just not telling them that we're actually working on both, but just trying to have us prepared for the moment. So, yeah, we tackle it like this team runs this, but maybe the other team actually runs this. So, try not to mess up their minds and try to focus on the task at hand. But we as coaches also know that we have another game in like 2 days, so we got to lock in. So yeah.
Coach, one of the bright spots this season so far has been the play of one of your senior guards, forwards. She can really play anywhere on the floor. And Talia Wesley, she's been your do-it-all player this year, team's leading scorer and rebounder to this point in the season. I know she's coming off a double-double against Lane, turned in a 20 and 14 performance. What has her play done to elevate your team this season?
Her leadership is tremendous. I mean, she wants to win. She definitely has a winner mindset. It's funny, she told me a story about her. She was coaching at one point, which is, it's kind of obvious too now. I mean, she tells me a lot of good things, and I'm a player's coach, so I definitely listen to her. She has a great IQ, like I said before. She's gonna give us everything she has every time. She's risking her body. Sometimes she's rebounding the ball. Well, she is rebounding the ball more than our post player. So it's if I had more Wesleys, I think I'll be really, really good.
And I think one of the most creative parts about her game is how she pulls down that board and quickly moves your team up the floor. Her transition speed, I'm sure that helps a lot.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, she knows the style of pace that I like to play in. She's really bought into it. So, like I said, like you just said, she gets the ball, she's throwing it up. She's like a coach on the floor. So.
Coach, another one of those for me that's really sparked this year has been Casey Smith, a player who was here on campus last season but redshirting due to transfer rules. Now she's eligible this season. You held her over onto the roster, and now she's displaying this thrpoint ability that she can shoot from the outside. How impactful is her game both inside and out?
It's been tremendous. I mean, anytime you have a post player that can shoot threes, of course, it opens up the floor. So, Casey's ready, man. And it's funny because she took the back seat a couple times, but I knew the kid could play. Her being on campus was like, I've had her come in for a workout a couple times. I'm like, this kid is really talented. I was just wondering if she can fit into the system, but she's doing a great job. I will say that, and like you said, her ability to shoot the three ball was really, really special.
She was one of those who was here when you got onto campus back in the spring, but obviously there's been some faces that have arrived since then. Let's talk about one of the freshmen, Ebony Clay. She gives you 20 points in that effort against Lane, and we talked a lot about her on last week's episode too, about her game is continuing to develop, but what's this next step she's taken dropping in 20?
Ebony is a kid that I think Ebony probably watched film more than any other player on the team right now. I mean, this kid just loves the game of basketball. She's constantly picking my brain how she can be better. Our communication is really, really great. Like, she's a gym rat. Ebony will stay in the gym all night if she could. She just loves it, man. Like, and those are the type of kids that you want. You want kids who really bought into the system, and kids who really, really want to be here, and kids who have been winners. And Ebony is a winner and a gym rat.
As the season goes on, of course, the team molds into different forms. Is it getting close to the mold that you'd like it to be as a final product?
It's getting there. It's a step-by-step process, brick by brick. So we're getting it done, and slowly but surely, it's a process. But like I said, I think it's going to happen. I like where we are right now, and things can be better, and I think they will be.
Coach, we'll take a short break and come back and preview some upcoming games when we return on Allen Athletics.
Right here, there's a better way to travel, where we're proud to be local, but we're more than just your local airport. Here, you can go from garage to gate in minutes, instead of traveling to travel.
Who wants to drive an hour up 77 anyway?
With quick find parking and multi-airline kiosks, we're designed to save you time. So for your next trip, check CAE first. The Columbia Metropolitan Airport. Fly local, fly with neighbors, fly with ease.
At Founders Federal Credit Union, we know success is a team effort. We're always cheering for you, side by side, so you can dream big and achieve your goals. Offering products and services that put you in the lead. Whether that's helping you buy a car, build your savings, or supporting your community, we're here with the financial support you need. That's teamwork. Score big with Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax with Founders.
Back here with head women's basketball coach Olivia Gaines. Coach, you guys were going every other day, it seemed, almost, with games. Now you have almost a full 2 weeks off before your next one on December the 14th against Spring Hill College here at Allen University. These 12 days off that your team has, how are you going to spend it?
Well, of course they're going to get a break. Right now, probably won't start again until Sunday, and just try to get after it after that, and just watching film has to be a thing. We like to do our closeout film, so we have to do our closeout film on Lane, LaBoy on, and when I say closeout film, it's just pretty much going back and just kind of breaking it down where things went wrong, where things went right, things we need to see more of, and some individual film sessions has to happen too, and a lot of shots. We like to shoot the basketball, of course, and then we just get right into practice. So.
Coach, I know you'll be in this group as well. A lot of coaches will say they remember the losses more than the wins. Yeah. Certainly Monday's effort against Lane will stick with you, but how do you help the team close the book on that, so to speak, and move forward into your next one?
Yeah, it's the what's next mentality. We can't, dwell on the past like it happened. We're going to try to fix it, of course, but once we get past it, we're past it, right? So it's not, that's not the determining factor for our season, you know what I'm saying? So that's the biggest thing. Like, I'm not going to carry on losses and beat them over the head about it. It is what it is, and we'll see what's next.
We started this conversation, and the first thing out of your mouth was we had 26 turnovers against Lane. Yeah. What are some other areas of your team you're hoping to improve on before the closeout of the year 2024, before the new spring semester arrives?
Yeah, our defensive rotations have to be better. Communication has to be better. And, it was funny in one meeting I had, I said, well, dang, we would think, you guys don't like each other, but you talk all the time. So let's get that to translate to the basketball court, and just constantly mind them, like, talking helps out your teammate, so it helps out everybody. So just more of communication, defensive rotations, and getting our press a little bit more on point too. Like, the sense of urgency has to be a little bit better. But other than that, I think we're fine. We're going to continue to try to shoot the basketball. That's definitely going to be one of our things.
Well, Coach, we'll close it out with a fun one. If you were to ask Santa, what's one gift you want for the Allen women's basketball team for Christmas this year?
Santa, please let me get a conference championship.
Conference championship banner. Yeah. That's on the wish list for Santa Claus. Yeah. Coach, as always, we appreciate your time. Enjoy the holiday season, and we'll see you back here in the spring semester.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more.
Right here, there's a better way to travel, where we're proud to be local, but we're more than just your local airport. Here, you can go from garage to gate in minutes, instead of traveling to travel.
Who wants to drive an hour up 77 anyway?
With quick find parking and multi-airline kiosks, we're designed to save you time. So for your next trip, check CAE first. The Columbia Metropolitan Airport. Fly local, fly with neighbors, fly with ease.
At Founders Federal Credit Union, we know success is a team effort. We're always cheering for you, side by side, so you can dream big and achieve your goals. Offering products and services that put you in the lead. Whether that's helping you buy a car, build your savings, or supporting your community, we're here with the financial support you need. That's teamwork. Score big with Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax with Founders.
We're back here on Allen Athletics. Pleased to be joined alongside head men's basketball coach Sean Walker. Coach, I know you're not coming in here full of smiles and happiness. Your team dropped your first 2 games of conference play this weekend. We're going to dive into the specifics of both. What were your first 2 takeaways from your first 2 SIAC contests?
Well, I'm definitely not happy, not in a good place. The program's not in a good place right now. Obviously, no one's happy when you don't win. And we just have not played well enough and done enough good things in order to win games. We lost our first game in a game that we thought we should have won. We had a lead coming down the backstretch and didn't make enough plays in the second game that we played against Lane. The game was much closer than the final score indicated, but it's going to be difficult to beat people when you can only get 46 points. So we have a long ways to go. And a short time to get there as far as I'm concerned, and so we're poised to understand that we're on the 5 games in and a lot of basketball left to play.
Coach, let's start with the trip to Lemoyne-Owen up in Memphis. You lost 62-60 in a game that your team had one final look. DJ Stubbs took an attempt from the 3-point line, left side of the floor. Was that the transition look you wanted with 4 seconds left?
Well, in all actuality, he shot it with 4 seconds left, but when we got the ball, it was about 11 seconds on the clock, and we looked to drive it, which we did, and we found him, and he was as open as the two of us are right now. And the ball just didn't go in. So that's kind of what our years kind of look like so far in these close games. But we also had a 5-point lead on the 3 minutes on the clock and made a turnover, and that 5-point lead that would have gone to that lead and that turnover that we created would have gone to a 7-point lead, and we threw the ball away, and they hit a 3 and went to 2, and so there's a lot of different plays there that we can make. We are turning the basketball over at a beyond alarming rate. So that's losing basketball. I think we had 17 against Lamont and 23 against Lane. That's 40 turnovers in 2 games. I think we talked about that a week ago. So I don't know how to fix that just yet, but I know it has to be fixed in order for us to win. And now these games are coming down the back stretch, and we just throw the ball away too much to be able to be a good team.
Coach, one of the bright spots from this weekend and so far early this season has been the play, I think, of Jordan Edmond. He's a player who you brought back from last year's team, was a player you inherited the year before in your first year. This is now his 3rd season on campus, but this year he seems to be really taking that next step forward offensively, gave you back-to-back double-digit scoring performances over the weekend. What's he bringing to your team as a really, really athletic power forward?
Well, at the end of the day, Jordan's a power forward and a guard body. He's super athletic, plays above the rim, but this weekend his energy level was off the charts. All right, it was off the charts. He played with a level of confidence and freedom that we would like to see all of our guys play with. But this weekend, and George found his success because he hasn't tried to do things that he should not do. He went to the offensive glass. He got rebounds. He got to the foul line. He played in passing lanes. He got up the floor for transition, and it's seemingly, we knock on wood, that he has found his niche and what he needs to be doing for our basketball team. And that happens to, he doesn't have to shoot threes, he doesn't have to dribble, he doesn't have to make great plays, he just has to do what his gift is and what he's supposed to do. And he was phenomenal at that, and we need to find someone that can go along with him on a consistent level, and we need him to sustain that level of play.
Beyond Jordan, I know you're looking for your post players to step up their play so far this year. What areas can they improve on?
They've got to improve all up and down. We've got to improve up and down altogether. Now, we've got to get them the ball a little bit with more frequency. We saw zone this weekend. I imagine we may see a lot of zone moving forward. So we've got to be able to throw them the ball inside, but when we do throw the ball inside to them, we need them to come up with a bucket. What we just talked about with Jordan Edmonds is Jordan has figured out there's a lot of misses out there. When you shoot 27%, 28% from the field, that means you missed a lot. Then our post players got to get to the glass. We got to figure out how to manufacture and turn 50 possessions into 75 possessions with second chance shots and getting to the foul line. And then we've got some areas where I think guys take shots that they can't make. I mean, that's not necessarily a negative thing other than taking the shot. All right? Deficiency is not an issue, but we need to know that sometimes we're open for a reason. And we need to try to figure out how to get open at a shot that we can't miss opposed to the shot that we think we can make.
That's on the post side of things for your guard play. What areas can they build on?
We've got to build all the way up. First and foremost, we've got to figure out how to take care of the ball. I think against Lane, we turned the ball over three individual times where we caught the ball standing out of bounds. I mean, that's something that we can't really practice in a game, and we've just got to be more aware. And so it's our decision making. We deliver the ball to people's hands that are open, and then they're standing out of bounds. So that happened 3 times in one game, and it's happened multiple times this year. So those are things that are one possession, that'll cause a one-possession game to be a one-possession game and not in our favor, because that's 3 possessions. That's a possible 6 points that we just delivered the ball to someone that wasn't even being guarded, and they were standing out of bounds with the ball. So, there's many things that we have to do to improve. I think holistically, we've got to coach better, players got to play better, we've got to all perform better at a high level, and we've just got to work at it. This is not the time for us to be defeated and to feel sorry for ourselves, as I said. We're not going to do that at this point. We're meeting some adversity, unexpected adversity, self-inflicted adversity, and we got to figure out how to turn it around, because there's not a guaranteed win on the schedule. Johnson C. Smith is our next opponent, phenomenal opponent. Then Spring Hill and Miles and Tuskegee, and we can't go home one and whatever. All right, we've got one win in our belt. We got to figure out what we need to do to play better basketball.
We'll take a short break with Coach and preview those upcoming games when we come back here on Allen Athletics.
Right here, there's a better way to travel, where we're proud to be local, but we're more than just your local airport. Here, you can go from garage to gate in minutes instead of traveling to travel.
Who wants to drive an hour up 77 anyway?
With quick find parking and multi-airline kiosks, we're designed to save you time. So for your next trip, check CAE first. The Columbia Metropolitan Airport. Fly local. Fly with neighbors. Fly with ease.
At Founders Federal Credit Union, we know success is a team effort. We're always cheering for you, side by side, so you can dream big and achieve your goals. Offering products and services that put you in the lead, whether that's helping you buy a car, build your savings, or supporting your community. We're here with the financial support you need. That's teamwork. Score big with Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax with Founders.
I think my images truly portray dynamic women, like being bold, being fearless. Growing up, I did not see what I wanted to be. There was just a lack of Black women, business owners, entrepreneurs, creatives. That's how I just started taking pictures. And from there, I figured out that I wanted to be a photographer for women of color. It takes a village to be a Black woman, to live and survive as a Black woman. It takes support. I found my niche and I'm sticking to it.
Each year, the South Carolina Education Lottery raises millions of dollars for scholarships and grants that help students prepare for their dream career, just like Kristen.
Back here on Allen Athletics with head men's basketball coach Sean Walker. Coach, coming up on the schedule, first off, it's a few days off for the first time since the season began. Your team going to have almost a full 10 days away in between games, let's say, not away from basketball, because certainly there's going to be some practice involved in there trying to turn things around. How will you spend this time away before your next game?
Well, we'll spend this time today in meetings. We need to get our psyche all right. We need to make sure that, again, our locker room is in a healthy place. And if it's not in a healthy place, then we need to figure out what we need to do to get it in a healthy place. If that is by reduction, or if that's by adduction, then we need to make sure that we do that. And then we'll just get back to work. I mean, this is a simple thing. I mean, at the end of the day, this is basketball. We've lost 4 games. It's not the worst thing that's ever happened. And I say to our players, if losing 4 games and 3 back-to-back is the worst thing that ever happens to you in your life, you're gonna be a great person. All right. So we're not going to be as miserable as I am and as miserable as we are, which we should be. Nothing's been lost. All right. If we figure out how to win 25 straight games or 20 straight games, then we'll be whatever in 4, and everybody will forget about these 3. So we know that's an uphill battle, but that's the approach that we need to take to be to get this program back to where it needs to be.
Next game on the schedule is December the 11th. That's a Wednesday night up in Charlotte, North Carolina, at Johnson C. Smith, a CIAA opponent, certainly a league you're familiar with, having coached in that league for over 20 years. What are you expecting from the Golden Bulls?
Well, they have a new coach, and Coach Antoine Banks, who has been a head coach in this league at Kentucky State, and has been around in SWAC, been around in the Horizon League, and he's got an opportunity to now come and be the leader of a really historic program at Johnson C. Smith. So it's going to be, a daunting task for us, for sure. We got to go on the road. Brayboy Gym has been a place that has been one of the most hostile environments since I was a player in the 90s. And it's going to be a very difficult game. For us at this point, every game is difficult. We got to figure out how Allen University does not beat Allen University. That's what Allen's doing right now. And we may still go and not win. I mean, that's fine. Our quality of play has to improve, though. And so going to Johnson C. Smith is going to be a big task. They have won 4 straight. I anticipate they will have won 5 straight by the time we get to them. and we got to try to put a cork in that, and so that it does become 6 when we get there.
Coach, what's the injury report look like for your team right now?
Right now, we're healthy. Injury of our minds. That's something I need to determine at this point. But we're healthy. We're going to have an evaluation in a couple of days. We've got some guys that are sore, and we've got some guys that are that need to be rehabilitated a little bit. But at the end of the day, we're healthy, and no excuses about health. We should be playing better than we are.
Coach, we'll end it on a fun one here. This is the last time we'll get to talk to you before the new year. So, as the head coach of Allen men's basketball, if you were to ask Santa Claus what's one thing you want for this team this Christmas, what is it?
Please bring us a jump shot. Bring us a jump shot and a layup and plenty of them, and make that gift card renewable.
I like it, Coach. I like it. Well, Coach, happy holidays. Hope you enjoy the Christmas season. And let's close out the year of 2024 with some wins.
Thank you very much.
All right, he's Sean Walker. I'm Kay Crenshaw. We'll be right back.
I think my images truly portray dynamic women, like being bold, being fearless. Growing up, I did not see what I wanted to be. There was just a lack of Black women, business owners, entrepreneurs, creatives. That's how I just started taking pictures. And from there, I figured out that I wanted to be a photographer for women of color. It takes a village to be a Black woman, to live and survive as a Black woman. It takes support. I found my niche and I'm sticking to it.
Each year, the South Carolina Education Lottery raises millions of dollars for scholarships and grants that help students prepare for their dream career, just like Kristen.
And that'll close things out for us on this week's episode of Allen Athletics. Thank you once again to head women's basketball coach Olivia Gaines and head men's basketball coach Sean Walker for stopping by and joining us on the program this week. And thank you all once again for joining us, not just this week, but throughout the 2024 calendar year. 2025 will be here before you know it, and that's when we will see each other again. We'll be in the new year, so look ahead to January for the next time you'll find us here on Watch Fox 57. You can always catch up on past episodes on demand on YouTube. Just search Allen University Athletics, and not only will you find past episodes of our show, but you'll also find live streams of home athletic events from inside John Hurst Adams Gymnasium. You can also visit us online at auyellowjackets.com. Again, that's auyellowjackets.com. That's your online home for rosters, recaps, scores, schedules, and more. Everything you need to know about the Yellow Jackets is online at auyellowjackets.com. I'm Kay Crenshaw, and that'll do it for us on this week's episode of Allen Athletics. We'll see you back here in January, and until then, enjoy the holiday season, stay safe, and as always, remember to smile.